Welcome to ABX Reviews. Today we are diving into a packed couple of episodes of Inimba, where tensions reach a boiling point at the office, old rivalries resurface, and family conflicts take a deeply emotional turn. If you thought the drama was intense before, these episodes really turn up the heat. Let's break down the key scenes. Scene 1, Thumeka confronts Hlenja at the hospital. Thumeka visits Hlenja in the hospital, where she is recovering from a heart condition. The doctor explains that her condition was likely brought on by severe emotional or physical stress, possibly from the recent loss of a loved one. Thumeka seems to understand the pain Hlenja is going through, showing a moment of empathy between them. Scene analysis. This is a quiet but significant scene that shifts the dynamic between Thumeka and Hlenja. It moves their interaction from pure hostility to a moment of shared human vulnerability, centered around their mutual grief for Changiza. Character motivation. Thumeka's visit, while still charged with their complicated history, seems motivated by a genuine concern for Hlenja's well-being, showing she isn't entirely without compassion. Deeper issues. The scene explores the physical impact of profound grief and stress. It shows how emotional wounds can manifest in very real, physical ways, connecting the theme of loss directly to Hlenja's health. Scene 2, Zoleka and Hlenja's tense meeting. Zoleka confronts Hlenja, demanding to know where they stand after 20 years. She is furious that Hlenja has seemingly turned against her husband, Lazarus. Hlenja fires back, defending her actions and making it clear she will not be intimidated, leading to a heated standoff. Scene analysis. This is a classic confrontation scene that lays bare the central conflict. The dialogue is sharp, and the history between these two women is palpable, making every line feel weighted with past grievances. Betrayal. The core of this argument is Zoleka's feeling of betrayal. She believes Hlenja has returned after decades only to sabotage her family, while Hlenja feels justified in her actions. My reaction. This scene is incredibly tense. It feels like a battle of wills where neither side is willing to back down, and it successfully makes the audience wonder who, if anyone, is in the right here. Scene 3, Zoleka accuses Iwandel of sabotage. After a disastrous board meeting, Zoleka storms into the office and directly accuses Iwandel of setting her up. She believes Iwandel either gave their intern, Core, the wrong data or tampered with her presentation. Iwandel coolly denies everything, turning the blame back on Zoleka for being an incompetent leader who delegates her most important work. Scene analysis. This scene is the culmination of the office power struggle. The professional facade completely drops, and their personal war is out in the open. Iwandel's calm demeanor in the face of Zoleka's anger makes her seem particularly formidable. Character analysis. This scene reveals Iwandel as a strategic and patient adversary. She doesn't get visibly angry, instead, she uses Zoleka's outburst to further her own narrative of Zoleka's incompetence. What will happen next? This direct accusation means the war between Zoleka and Iwandel is now official. I think Zoleka will be looking for concrete proof of Iwandel's sabotage, while Iwandel will continue to undermine Zoleka's authority at every turn. Scene 4, Core's apology and house hunting help. Core apologizes to Zoleka for the board meeting mishap, believing she will be fired. Zoleka, however, reassures her that it wasn't her fault. The conversation then shifts to Core showing Zoleka properties she found for her, with Core even suggesting a house with a cottage she could potentially rent herself. Scene analysis. This scene provides a moment of warmth and alliance amidst all the backstabbing. It builds the mentor-like relationship between Zoleka and Core and shows a softer, more trusting side of Zoleka. Lessons learned. Zoleka demonstrates a good leadership lesson here by not blaming her junior team member for a failure and instead looking at the larger picture of who might be truly responsible. Character development. We see Core growing from a nervous intern into a more confident and proactive individual, someone who is not afraid to show initiative and share her ideas with her boss. Scene 5, Sydney and Beniswa catch up on old times. Sydney meets his friend Beniswa, and they catch up on their lives. They reminisce about Beniswa's past relationship with Sydney's cousin, Sthembiso, and share a laugh about his misfortunes. The conversation is light and shows a friendly, relaxed side of Sydney. Scene analysis. This scene serves as a bit of comic relief and character development for Sydney. It grounds him in a world outside of the main corporate and family drama, showing he has his own life and friendships. Character motivation. Sydney's motivation here is simple camaraderie. He is enjoying a moment with an old friend, which provides him with a support system separate from the tensions with Zoleka. How characters impact the story. This scene introduces Beniswa and connects her to the main cast, setting her up as a potential player in the ongoing story, especially given her own history with Zoleka. Scene 6. Sydney and Zoleka's intimate moment. After Zoleka defends Sydney's honor against Beniswa's comments, he is clearly impressed and attracted to her fiery spirit. With the kids away, they share a flirtatious moment, deciding to spend some time together before he goes to dinner with Iwandle. Scene analysis. This scene reinforces the bond between Sydney and Zoleka. It shows that despite the external pressures, there is still a strong romantic and protective connection between them. Character motivation. Zoleka is motivated by love and a desire to protect her husband's reputation. Sydney is motivated by attraction and appreciation for his wife's loyalty and strength. Deeper issues. This moment highlights the theme of loyalty within a marriage. It shows them as a team, united against outside threats, which makes their internal conflicts later even more impactful. Scene 7. Hlenja's emotional plea to her mother. Hlenja visits her mother, Thumeka, in the hospital. She is full of remorse, apologizing for the pain she has caused and begging for forgiveness for not returning home sooner. Thumeka, however, is unmoved and coldly tells Hlenja that she is dead to her. Scene analysis. This is the most emotionally raw scene in these episodes. The delivery of the lines makes the rejection feel absolutely devastating. It's a powerful depiction of a fractured mother-daughter relationship. Betrayal. Thumeka feels a deep sense of betrayal from Hlenja's long absence, a wound that seems too deep to heal. Hlenja's betrayal is one of abandonment, which her mother cannot overlook. My reaction. This scene is heartbreaking. To see Hlenja, who often appears so strong, be so vulnerable and be completely rejected by her mother, is difficult to watch and adds immense depth to her character. Scene 8. The celebration at Palette Restaurant. Zoleka and Kor are at a restaurant celebrating Zoleka's new job and new house. They are joined by Zoleka's best friend, Beniswa. The celebration is interrupted by Iwandle, who arrives with her father, Lazarus. The mood instantly sours as Iwandle makes snide remarks about Zoleka being out with an intern. Scene analysis. This scene masterfully builds tension by interrupting a happy moment with the arrival of the antagonists. The public setting adds a layer of forced civility that makes the underlying hostility even more pronounced. Jealousy. Iwandle's comments are dripping with jealousy and contempt. She is clearly bothered by Zoleka's success and her bond with Kor, and she cannot resist the opportunity to try and tarnish the moment. Story strength. The story here is strong because it successfully makes the viewer feel the same discomfort and anger that Zoleka does. We are invested in her happiness and feel the intrusion of Iwandle and Lazarus as a direct threat. Scene 9. Iwandle's warning to Lazarus. After the encounter at the restaurant, Iwandle and Lazarus talk in a car. Iwandle assures her father not to worry about Zoleka or her little mosquito, Kor. She confidently states that Zoleka's true colors have been shown to the board and her time as CEO is limited. Scene analysis. This scene acts as a villainous debrief. It gives us insight into Iwandle's confidence in her plan and her long-term strategy to oust Zoleka completely. Character motivation. Iwandle is motivated by a deep-seated desire for power and revenge for Zoleka taking a position she believed was hers. She is methodical and patient in her approach. What will happen next? This conversation sets the stage for a major corporate showdown. Iwandle is not finished yet. She is planning her next move to completely remove Zoleka from power, which will likely be the focus of the next episode. Scene 10. Zoleka and Beniswa's post-restaurant conversation. After Iwandle leaves the restaurant, Zoleka and Beniswa discuss the unpleasant encounter. Beniswa expresses her strong dislike for Iwandle, and Zoleka reassures her friend, showing a united front against their common adversary. Scene analysis. This scene serves to solidify the alliances. It shows Zoleka has a strong support system in Beniswa and Kor, which she will need in the battles to come. Lessons learned. The scene reinforces the lesson that having loyal friends and allies is crucial when facing difficult opponents. It highlights the importance of a strong personal network. Character development. We see Zoleka in a leadership role even among her friends, calming the situation and focusing on the positive, her new house and her supportive friends. It shows her resilience.